We Are Soccer, the show that talks about pro soccer, youth soccer, and everything in between. I'm your host, Craig Hearn. All right, coming up on today's show, another jam-packed, just explosion of news of soccer as the games have kicked off. All right, so specifically today, we're going to talk about EPL games, Bundesliga games, Pulisic pulls out with COVID, Lewandowski wants out at Bayern, and edible coffee cups? I don't know where that comes in with soccer, but we'll find out. We got all that and a lot more. Stick around. Much more to come. A big thank you right off the bat to our friends who've been with us since day one. Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars FC, Tim Merritt with Ross Mortgage, and Next Level Training. Thank you guys. Appreciate the love and support and everything you do for us here at We Are Soccer. All right. My regular co-host Nate is back. Nate, welcome back to We Are Soccer. Are you ready for today and all the news that we have?
Ready to go. Now it's getting hot and heavy, right? Season's kicked off.
We're into week 2. Some games have been played. We get to see some of the teams, how they've come out under new coaches, players who, with new clubs, how they're playing. There were some interesting scores in that week 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots of scores, lots
I
of
was
players.
happy.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
How were you?
No, not so much.
I mean,
not so much.
Got to see 10 goals in 2 games just from 2 teams that I love, so woohoo!
Yeah, then we're going to talk about their second game.
I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Before we jump into those games, I want to give some big shout-outs here. I want to give a shout-out to to a big friend of We Are Soccer, Yassine Benchbana and his family. They are referees here in Michigan, and they do a lot of refereeing and do a lot of soccer for the game of soccer. I want everybody to remember, without referees, we have no game. Thank you for all you do to the Benchbana family. Yassine, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Love having you on the We Are Soccer Facebook group as well, man. Some of the stuff you add is money. So appreciate the love and support, my friend. Big shout out to all the kids playing at Keyworth Stadium this evening as DCFC play San Diego 1904. Also, big shout out to Dominic Yunshai, who's playing in one of those games before DCFC. Dominic, I played soccer for many years with your dad. He's a good friend and contributes to We Are Soccer often. So good luck tonight, and thank you. Last shout out of the day goes to MSC. That is the Michigan Soccer Central Group. We're going to be partnering up with them and bringing you something on a weekly basis that I think everybody's going to love. It's going to be fun. I had a big conference call the other night with them. Good guys.
Meeting of the minds.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt pretty dumb when I was with them because all those guys are so smart. Brooks Lambier, Dan Garnell, just super smart dudes who love soccer. So we're going to partner up with them for something in the coming weeks. If you haven't, check out the MSC podcast, Michigan Soccer Central. They do a very good job of promoting our sport.
When in doubt, just know that you can score more goals than those guys.
Yeah, actually
How many did you have last game?
Just 4 of the 6.
And now you know I am invited back.
Yeah, I'll pay you afterwards. Yeah, thanks.
Just stop having people throw quarters at me.
Yeah,
please.
no, continue to throw quarters at him and nickels because that's the only way I can really pay him.
It hurts.
All right, on to World Soccer News, which is brought to you by Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage. If you're looking for a new mortgage or if you're looking to refinance, go ahead and give Tim Merritt a call. Tim Merritt at Ross Mortgage, good dude, loves his soccer, and we are a big fan of Tim. All right, big news coming out this week about Robert Lewandowski. He apparently wants a new challenge, and he wants out at Bayern. He doesn't want to be there anymore. What are your thoughts, Nate? What do you think on that?
I mean, or he wants a new contract and wants to get paid more money.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. How old is Lewandowski? 32 now?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's already been said it won't happen this year, so he'll be 33 by the time he transfers. I'm not big on guys that age, I hate to say it, looking for new opportunities. You really wanted a new opportunity. He was in the Bundesliga and Munich for many, many years. He could have did it when he was 27, 28, 29, 30.
Agreed.
You're 32, going into 33. Do you really want a new opportunity? Now, I will say this. Klopp used to be his coach.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't be a bad spot for him, now would it? He might not have to be with, Firmino and some of the other guys there. Mo Salah,
Those guys are all younger than him, though.
They
so
are
Mo
younger
Salah,
than, but that's where he
Firmino,
can
and
come
Mane are
in
younger.
and just be a supporting role.
I don't know
and win a Premier League, maybe.
You're still going to have to pay 125 million for him. You're not getting him on the cheap
that's the
just
other
because he's a
thing.
little older. So
That's the other thing.
I don't think anybody's spending that amount of money for a role
So
player.
Lukaku went for how much money?
97 million.
Okay,
officially.
and he set what goal scoring record where?
He was the leading goal scorer in Serie A,
no,
but
not
he did
leading.
not break a records.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
he
that's
did
the
not break
point.
records.
You're talking about a record-breaking player who did something that has never been done in that league for 50 years. First guy to do it. And leading goal scorer for multiple years out of that league.
All right.
He is going to cost a pretty penny if it is even going to happen.
All right, you're running a club. You are short of a striker. The owner of your club gives you 125 million, let's call it pounds or
I will buy
dollars.
Craig.
Well, I'm not. I am way more expensive than that, my
Okay.
friend. Who are you buying? Are you going with Harry Kane or are you going with Lewandowski?
I go Lewandowski.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He's older now. He's 3 years older.
Yeah, but so if you're asking me, and I watch a lot of Bundesliga,
Yep.
Lewandowski makes a lot out of nothing and is very, very quick, and he is at 32 gonna still be hitting that stride with goals. Harry Kane isn't that much younger. Now, you asked me if I want a Ernie Haaland or Lewandowski.
That was my
now
next
it's
question.
a different. Now
Right.
we're playing with different things because the upswing. I think Lewandowski's better than Haaland. You asked me now today.
Yep.
He's better than Haaland. Haaland though has a whole career ahead of him. So now it's a different bit of a ball game where Harry Kane is also, hate to say he's on the tail end, but he is a bit on the tail end. Yeah, 3 years younger, but that's still at the upper end of his career.
You could spend 125 million. Let's call it 100 million today and get Lewandowski or Harry Kane, or you wait a year and spend 125 and possibly get Erling Haaland. Are you waiting?
Yeah.
You waiting that year to get Haaland?
Because again, his age.
His age.
It's a long-term investment.
I agree.
So it's a long-term investment. It's a long-term payoff. If I was a team that wanted to win right now, though, I would get Lewandowski. Because I think Lewandowski is better.
All right, well,
I think he's pound for pound better. And it's proven better because he had more goals last year than Haaland. So
I agree.
a lot more goals than Haaland.
Well,
and they play in the same league. And Dortmund isn't that bad of a team where Haaland could have been chasing it.
there is a team right now with that amount of money who is looking for a forward because they just let theirs go for free. One Manchester City.
Yeah.
Do you think they will stump up the chains and possibly put? Now there's only 13 days left or 10 days, whatever it is.
Well,
left
but I
in
thought
the
it already
window.
came out. I thought it already came out that he wasn't going to leave this year. I thought it did. I thought it read Lewandowski.
I mean,
Anything's possible, right?
anything's possible now that he's put people on notice.
We'll see. Yeah. So this year, Lewandowski versus Kane. I think Tottenham's going to ask for the moon. I think you probably could pull Lewandowski out of Munich a lot easier than you could pull Kane out of Tottenham, even though that he wants to leave. I don't think they're putting unrealistic prices on him.
Lewandowski coming out and saying that he would like a new challenge and possibly leaving has Manchester City looking at him, and has put a little bit of pressure on Daniel Levy at Tottenham because Daniel Levy's been holding out on selling Kane because he wants to get as much money as he can. He's a businessman. But now he's got to be looking at it going, well, they could possibly head over there and get him, or they're going to wait a year. Manchester City's going to wait a year and try to get Haaland for a little bit more.
Another player in that mix could be Madrid eventually as well.
Yep.
Who do you really have in the Spanish league that's your marquee player now? Who can you market?
Well, Karim Benzema just signed a new contract with Real Madrid.
I understand. I get it.
So apparently he's going to be the guy.
Yeah, but
I don't.
I think Lewandowski's better than Benzema, and I think he's better.
absolutely.
He's more marketable than Benzema.
I absolutely agree.
So I mean, it makes me happy that all these guys are fighting over Harry Kane and Lewandowski. I'm pleased with it. As a United fan, just keep going because you just take more players off the board because the reality is Haaland to me Haaland is the prize,
Yeah,
right?
he absolutely is.
He's the long-term prize. He's maybe not as good. Honestly, I don't think he's good as Kane. I don't think he's as good as
Yet.
Lewandowski today.
Yep.
But I'm not worried about today. I'm worried about tomorrow and 2 weeks from now or whatever.
Right. Yep.
And to me, Lewandowski is that player, the long-term investment. The only problem with, or not Lewandowski, Haaland is the long-term investment. The only problem with Haaland is his manager. That's the only reason why he's probably not at United now. Ole was his coach in the past.
Yep.
He has a relationship with him. Apparently, he was big friends with Sancho. Where's he playing now? United. Big club, marketable club in the Champions League. Could splash some cash to get him if they really had to. Could even trade. You got some people. You could trade Anthony Martial and pay a fee for that.
Yeah, there's
but the
rumors
problem
that
is
Martial could be leaving. Obviously, we know how that went last year with him.
Yeah,
and
I mean
they should sell him now to capitalize.
And he's had his opportunities. He
Yep.
couldn't cut it as a target forward, so they put him out wide. He couldn't cut it. He wanted it back to be the number 9. They put him in the number 9. He can't score. Cavani came in, took his spot.
Yep.
Sorry, it is what it is. Is he a bad player? No. Is he an elite striker? No. So that's the big problem, is he's not an elite striker, and that team wants an elite striker. That team needs an elite striker. Haaland could be that elite striker, so everyone who's talking about, I'd love for City to grab Lewandowski and Kane, please.
Yeah.
Take them both. Take both players. Awesome. Win the league this year. No one else has money. We'll grab Haaland, and then fantastic. We'll beat you in 2 years. I'm happy with that. Go for it. Go for gold, baby. Buy all the strikers.
You're
all of
willing
them.
to give up the league this year and
Sure.
possibly next year to
Sure.
win it in 3 years. Okay.
You wouldn't give up the league. Honestly, think about it.
my
You wouldn't
club's in
give
a
up the league
different
for 2.
position.
You wouldn't give up the league for 2 years, knowing that they probably couldn't win it. They could come in second or third, right? To land a player that would set you up for the next 10 years.
I mean, I agree with you.
I would sacrifice 2 to win 10 any day of the week.
I agree with you.
There's a lot of caffeine in this thing, and coffee.
Not a lot of people want to give up. No one wants to see, from the red half of Manchester, no one wants to see Manchester City win, right? For 2 years in a row. Because that'd be
we
3
don't.
years in a row, and that's a
Absolutely
dynasty.
not. But if it means sacrificing a year or two and getting the guy you want, because everyone else blew all their money on these other guys. Chelsea was an option. They got Lukaku now. Not going to happen, right? Barcelona has no cash. Madrid just extended Benzema's contract.
Yep.
There's still, I think, options there.
Yep. Well,
I don't think Haaland stays and goes to Munich. I could be wrong. I just don't think so. Could be wrong.
Lewandowski leaves.
I don't think Lewandowski's leaving, but that's a different story.
Maybe-
Harry Kane, go to City. Awesome.
Just throwing this out there, I haven't seen it anywhere, but maybe Lewandowski sees the writing on the wall that the next striker coming in the door could be one Erling Haaland. So now he's like,
Yeah,
I want to
maybe.
beat them to the punch, and I want out now.
Could be.
So
Could
who
be.
knows?
But at the same time,
Who
I
knows?
think
Just rumors.
It's
Just
hard.
speculation.
It's hard to sell a legend. That's why I also think that some of this might just be money talk.
Agreed.
Because it's even though he is 33, it's hard to break off a legend who just 1 year ago broke a 50-year record.
Yep. I agree.
So it's
I
not
agree.
like he's slowing down as he's going. He's fine. If he was slowing down, that'd be a different story.
Other big news that's hit that we need to kind of chat about this week. Late this week, the news of Christian Pulisic being out at Chelsea because of COVID. He has tested positive for COVID, so he will not play this weekend against Arsenal. For those asking, Christian Pulisic has had the shot. He has been vaccinated, but he still has contracted COVID. We're not going to get into the science or any of that stuff. That's not what we're here for. But
unless you got a doctorate, leave it alone.
But what we do know is we're about 12 days away from the U.S. men's national team World Cup qualifiers. This kind of puts it in doubt. So as of right now, Christian Pulisic has COVID, but he's not showing any symptoms. So he says he feels fine, no symptoms. He has tested positive, I believe, multiple times, so he's out for this week. He's probably going to be out for Chelsea's next game. Depending on when he tests negative is when he can come back and be around people, so he's going to have to isolate. And then he has to travel. So the USA plays September 2nd in El Salvador. It's an away game for the USA. I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I don't think he's going to make it back for that September 2nd game. I think the window of 12 days is just too tight. And news this week that now Joshi Zardes is out. He has pulled a hamstring. He's pulled out from last Columbus Crew game with a hamstring injury, and he won't be available.
God. And the U.S. fans rejoice.
You say that, but I think he's a player who could potentially have played up top, and now Greg Berhalter, is going to have to kind of work around it. Does Sargent come back in? Does he play that 9?
Or
does
Timothy
DK?
DK, Hoppy.
Hoppy could be, but I think Sargent right now and DK are your two most qualified players to play up there. But
don't forget Way.
But then September 2nd, you're playing at El Salvador. 3 days later, in Nashville, home to Canada. Mm-hmm. 3 days after that, away to Honduras. 3 very close games that, not good timing on Christian Pulisic's part. Obviously, he couldn't help it, but it's just bad time for U.S. men's national team here. They could be in. All right, so what happens if Sargent picks up an injury? What happens if we have another player that picks up an injury? I know there are players, it's next man up, but
here's the thing. Coaching genius Greg Berhalter, as I know.
You soon change your tune on that,
I have changed my tune. The coaching genius Greg Berhalter actually did a fantastic job of safeguarding him for this. This is not the Bob Bradley area where one of our players go out and you scratch your head and go, oh, we haven't seen anyone else. He had a whole different roster of people for the Gold Cup than he had for the Nations League.
Yep,
he has lots of people he checked out. He has lots of names. Me, I'm not worried. Would I like Pulisic? Yeah. Guess what? Don't go to El Salvador. Catch your plane, private plane, which I'm sure he can fly a private plane. I don't know. I'm assuming he can if he loads a private plane, nobody else on it.
Yep.
See you in the States to play against Canada.
Yep.
Clear it there.
I agree.
Because Canada is going to be a tougher team. Canada's gotten a lot better, and for whatever reason, we struggle against them. I don't know why Berhalter does, but he's last 2 games he struggled against Canada, lost one, barely squeaked by the other one. So he's going to struggle. I can already say El Salvador, Honduras, Canada. Canada right now is a tougher matchup. So Canada's the game you want them for. That's why I would skip El Salvador, see ya in Canada. Here we go. So long as they can roster them.
I'm going to agree with you. They can definitely roster him. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But this is the reason why the USA played the Gold Cup squad they did, right? They played the Nations League with we'll call it the A team. They won that handedly. Then they came into the Gold Cup, and we had mostly MLS players and mostly backups, B and C team players. And we learned a ton about those players, right? Matt Turner, I think I'm changing my tune. I think Matt Turner goes into the second spot now and maybe even the first goalkeeper. We learned what Hoppe can do. We learned what Zardes can do. Obviously, Zardes is out now. We learned what Roldan can do.
Yeah.
Those are players who are going to have to fill in because, Pulisic, I think, is going to be out for that first game. But you're right, Nate. I think they should bring him back for the game against Canada in Nashville.
Yep. Even with the friendlies, this is where the 41 players or 42 players under new faces under Berhalter is a stroke of great management as a national team coach, bringing in new faces left and right. Some work out, some don't work out, but now you know, and you know what you have. So Pulisic, love for him. Obviously, team's better with him. Without, for sure, would have him. But am I stressed? Am I worried? No, not at all. Because we've seen a lot from this national team.
The U.S. men's national team today is in a lot better shape than it would have been 3 years ago if this would be happening, right? Obviously, COVID, but an injury or whatever to Pulisic going down 3 or 4 years ago, monstrumental. We're all sweating. We're all worried because it's happening now. We're a little bit more comfortable. We got much bigger players in the camp now in the setup. So it's a better time for it to happen. But he's still your best player, right?
Is he?
I think he is
over
still,
Weston McKennie.
I think he's still the number
over
one
Tyler
player.
Adams.
I think he's still the number one player.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know.
absolutely do.
I kind of like Adams and McKinney for the positions that they play.
Yeah.
Tyler Adams started yesterday again for Red Bulls. Don't want to talk about it. And he's been starting the whole time. McKinney starts for Juventus. I think, he's pound for pound. Bliss is probably more talented, but
I think he's able to change the game.
Oh, for sure.
He's got that skill, right? That and I hate to say it, that Jack Grealish little flair where he can beat a guy. And
Man City's Jack Grealish?
Yeah, Man City's Jack Grealish. But he can beat a guy, and then in tight spaces, he can be the guy to get out of that tight space and do things. I mean, if you think about that, the penalty that won the Nations League, right? He drew that penalty, and I don't think the U.S. men's national team has a player who can do that, who can make that run and get taken down like that. He's just marginally better, but he is, for me, the number one player for the U.S. men's national team.
Agreed. I hate to because I don't like to under-talk an opponent. I never like to do that. We've talked about that before. I never like to go, but it's just that. However, do you need your best player to beat El Salvador? I would say...
You would hope not.
Hope not.
You would hope not.
I would hope not. I think you need your best player to beat Canada. I think you need your best player to beat Costa Rica. I think you need your best player to beat Mexico. El Salvador, Honduras, Panama... I think you're okay.
Yeah.
I think you're okay. You should be able to draw or win, and since it's an away, drawing is okay as well. And in this qualifier, so you draw your way, you win your homes, and you end up being in good shape. You should be able to draw away against El Salvador with the roster we have.
Well, we could be talking for nothing. He could be cleared to play on the 2nd, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you join in on the We Are Soccer social channels. And we'll keep you updated. There'll be lots of conversations going there. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We'll have all the conversations and videos there. All right. Why don't we jump into the games that are happening this weekend? English Premier League. This is match day 2 for English Premier League. Lots of good games last week. Some not so good. Let's just jump right in and talk about the games that are coming up this weekend. Right off the bat, we have Liverpool versus Burnley. Liverpool... coming off a victory over Norwich City 3-0 last week. They looked really good. They looked solid. The only thing I'll say is Liverpool haven't really bought anybody this year. They haven't really upgraded their team. They're staying stagnant. So if they have an injury or two, anything can happen. They will, in my opinion, win this game against Burnley. Burnley lost 2-1 last week to Brighton Hove Albion. But this should be a fairly comfortable victory.
Klopp's saving all his pennies for Landonowski. Reunite the Dortmund dream.
Well, this will be the first. The first home game there for Liverpool this season. So it'll be interesting to see how that. They're not going to lose in front of their fans.
Not against Burnley. They're not going to lose.
No, they're definitely not going to lose. Burnley can be a bit of a bogey team, but I see Liverpool taking this one. Next on the docket is Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Villa home, coming off a loss to Watford. Watford, newly promoted team, went up 3-0. Villa did well to get it back to 3-2, but we're never, ever going to win or even draw that game. Watford were in control the entire time. Aston Villa played the first 45 minutes of that game like they were sleepwalking, and it was an exhibition game. It was absolutely terrible. Watford tore them apart. If you couldn't tell, I'm a little upset and pissed off with that result and the way our team played. I have no doubt the first game here at Villa Park for the year with fans back in a long time, there will be a different team that comes out, and you will see a different side. Newcastle, not quite the team that they've been in years of past. Last week, they were destroyed by West Ham 4-2. Newcastle, Callum Wilson, Almiron up top. Besides that, they don't have anything. I'm sorry. This should be a comfortable victory for Aston Villa. I'm going to put a 2-0 scoreline prediction out there. Villa Park will be rocking. My Villains better get it done.
You're the Aston Villa expert. You can see in your jersey.
Clearly.
Clearly.
I just want to state before we keep going with that, I did wear this jersey, and this is the one we were relegated in a couple of years ago.
It's okay.
So,
memories.
yeah.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. But Grealish was a big part of your team, big part of your offense, big part of your game plan, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. When you lose a player like that, it takes some time to adjust. I know I give you crap back and forth about the Villa Stuttgart stuff, but I really do think they got some good players that they came in. I really think, and I mean this sincerely, the best player that they got is one that's not really talked about that much, which is Leon Bailey. And I think he'll come true. I think it's going to take some time for you guys to adjust because of what happened, shuffle some things, get these guys going again, learn some chemistry, and I think you'll be all right. I really do. I think you guys will be all right.
I think Villa will be all right. Leon Bailey came in the second half last week, and he was really good. He looked really good. Had an assist. He's a hell of a player. I can't wait for him to really get his feet under him.
Bailey to Ings is basically going to be your whole game plan going forward.
Yeah. I mean, Danny Ings up top. He's a goal poacher. He's going to score some goals. This week, Ollie Watkins still suffering with a knee injury. I think he's got a bruised knee, so he's out. Villa are going to be okay, but it is going to take them a good 5 or 6 games to really get to grips with the new players, the new system we're going to be using without Grealish. So you're right.
It's going to take a minute.
It's going to take some time. All right. Next game, Crystal Palace versus Brentford. Brentford.
I'm excited for this game.
This is the game we're excited for.
I'm excited for one of them.
Right, one of them. Well, Brentford won 2-0 last week against Arsenal in the opening game of the season. It could have been a lot worse. Brentford could have really put a hammering down on Arsenal. Great to see them playing in the top flight of English soccer. They're a really cool club. It's just great to see. They're kind of a smaller club. Their attendance last week for the Arsenal game was 16,400. I mean, that's how small their stadium is, but it is awesome to see, and their fans are so passionate.
I just want to see if they can do it again.
I
want to see if they can jump out to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
I want to see if Arsenal's really that bad, or if they're maybe that good. I'm excited about that game.
I think it is going to be a great game. Now, Crystal Palace, who Brentford is playing, lost last week to Chelsea 3-0. We did a poll this past week on the We Are Soccer Facebook page, and we put all the managers up, and we said, who do you believe will be the first manager sacked this year in the Premiership? It wasn't the manager of Crystal Palace who I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a runaway. I voted for Patrick Vieira. I thought he was going to be. Apparently, everybody thinks it's going to be Mikel Arteta from Arsenal.
You don't think it is after what happened?
I think Crystal Palace, if they lose 2-0 to Brentford, they will have lost 3-0 to Chelsea, 2-0 to Brentford, and then they got some tough games coming up.
Yeah.
So
how many years has Vieira been there, though?
He's been there a few months.
Okay.
I get it.
And Arsenal lost to the
newly promoted Brentford.
And you really think Arsenal's going to beat Chelsea?
No.
Okay, so they're going to start 0-2 in the hole as well. And how long has he been with Arsenal?
Just over a year and a half now, I believe. It's almost 2 years.
Yeah,
I agree.
okay.
I agree with you, but man, the owners of Arsenal have shown this. We can do this another time. But the owners of Arsenal have proven that they're willing to at least give him time. They did just bring in Martin Odegaard this week and Ramsdale from Sheffield United. So there's some purchases right there. The owners just laid out almost £100 million to Mikel Arteta. I got
so if he doesn't start performing, that's even more reason why he's going to get fired.
I get it. Next on that, so I think we're both going to pick Brentford for that one.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be Brentford. That's awesome. Let's go Bees, baby.
That's going to be a fun game to go Bees. That's going to be a fun game to watch. Next, Leeds versus Everton. Everton squeaked out a win last week. They won 3-1 over Southampton after going a goal down. They didn't look so great, but they got the job done. Leeds, did not look so hot. They played your Man United. 5-1 final.
Yeah.
5-1. Leeds looked terrible. Sorry, Patty Miller, but Leeds looked terrible. It was great to see fans back in the stadium, I know, but holy moly.
I didn't say
it could have been 9-1.
Yeah, I didn't say a word to Patty because I love the guy too much. Great dude. But United looked really good, and I don't think it was a case of Leeds looking bad. I think it was more of a case of United was looking that good. And they're up in a couple minutes,
Yep.
and we could talk more about them.
So
I think Leeds will come through on this game against Everton.
So Leeds are at home with this game against Everton. I think I'm either going to go for a draw or Leeds win on this one.
I think,
I think Leeds pull it out. Patrick Bamford signed a new 5-year contract this week. An extension to his contract for 5 years with Leeds, so that ties him down. You know he's going to want to come out and put the ball in the net there. They're going to make up for the loss last week to Man United.
Yep.
Everton also have several players with COVID. So, and James, one of the top players from last year, is still not fit to play. Apparently this week he was caught on Twitch talking to fans, and he had no idea who his team were playing this week.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, not good at all. He has had problems under Rafa Benitez before with his time at Real Madrid, so apparently, in my opinion, he probably just wants out, and he's making a case to be sold or to leave. So Everton could be in some trouble there. We'll both pick Leeds on that one.
Yeah.
Next up, Man City versus Norwich. Norwich
is going to get crushed.
Norwich lost 3-0 to Liverpool, as we talked about, so they're going to need to come out and play. But
can Norwich play with some extra players to make it even?
Man City last week lost to Spurs 1-0 with Son.
Yeah, so they're not going to allow this to happen again.
It is not going to happen. If you've got a lot of money, I would bet it on Man City winning, and I know the return isn't going to be very good, but you can bet your ass that they're not going to lose 2 in a row.
But a fate of irony, because you just said that.
Yeah,
Watch Norwich win with the leading scorer being Sargent with like 3 hat-trick.
I mean, how awesome would that be?
I'd be excited. And then I woke up and realized it was all a dream.
Right. I give you $10 right now. Who are you putting? I'm going to give you $110. Who are you putting it on?
Well, I'm cheap. You could say, Nate, I'm going to give you $1. I'm going to go City. I don't want to lose my buck.
Yeah, you'll get about 3-cent return on it, but it's
3 cents more I had yesterday.
Yeah, Man City are going to come through. We know that. Man City have lost quite a few games in the last few weeks. Community Shield game to Leicester. They lost prior to that. They've lost now to Spurs.
Do you hear the conspiracy theory of they're losing on purpose because they want the Harry Kane?
Oh, God. All right, we're going to skip right past that.
Because that's probably a thing.
I don't know
because Pep like, all right, guys, hold back a little bit. I'm trying to get the striker, so want to show these guys that we can't do it without one player.
The other game on for Saturday in the Premiership is Brighton versus Watford. Not exactly the most thrilling of games, but Watford beating Aston Villa 3-2. Brighton winning last week against Burnley. This game for me, Brighton at home. I'm going to pick a draw on this one. There were no draws last week, by the way, in the English Premier League. They were all wins and losses. No, not a single draw, which that doesn't happen very often. I got a feeling there'll be several draws this week.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Teams making up points.
Yeah, so that's for the Saturday games in the Premiership. Your Sunday games are Southampton at home to Man United.
Ooh, baby.
So, some notes for that game.
Ooh,
Manchester United now are 26 games unbeaten. In away games, unbeaten. They haven't lost in 26 away games. That's crazy. All right, they win this one against Southampton. They get the record, beating the Arsenal Invincibles, who set the record back in the early 2000s.
Awesome.
So
now, if we could parlay that into a trophy, I'd be really impressed. But until that happens,
no.
But we got a new center back now.
Yeah.
So
what number did he get handed? Because Phil Jones didn't want to give up the number 4 shirt?
Yeah, I would have just told Phil Jones to go home at that point.
Yeah.
I mean,
the problem is Phil Jones isn't ever going to play again for you, but he doesn't want to leave your club because you signed him to about $300,000.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I mean,
apparently I heard that Phil Jones was taken over Raphael there. So
Raphael Varane back in the day.
So he was actually selected at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, honestly, United, you look at how they play. They got an attacking option in Sancho now, who's going to take a minute to get adjusted, but I think they'll do very well. Yep. And they fixed their back line with a quality center back to pair up with Harry Kane. Let's see. I hate to put the fandom hat on, so I won't.
I
but let's see.
think we'll be seeing a Bruno Fernandes hat trick or 4 assists from one Pogba again. But you never know, because Southampton have they sold several of their key players, although they did just re-sign James Ward-Prowse this week. He got a brand new contract after teams are looking at him. So we'll see what happens there. I fully expect Man United to take that one.
This one, 3 points. And I think it will be interesting how they do the rest of the season.
Yep. Other games for Sunday: Wolves versus Tottenham. Wolves losing last week to Leicester City 1-0, and Tottenham, as we know, beating Man City 1-0. So,
but more importantly, the return.
You think Harry Kane is going to be in the squad? I don't think he's going to play.
Oh, Nino's return. The manager's return.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
The return.
It is at Wolves. He did leave that club on his own terms. He wasn't sacked. He left because he probably wasn't happy with the board. Fans were unhappy. It's interesting.
It's a return, baby.
I think you get a good reception. I mean, you got to just clap your hands and say well done for putting out a game plan to beat Pep Guardiola and Man City 1-0 with the team. The team he had isn't bad, but it's not exactly £1 billion good like Man City. So he did a very good job there. I think Tottenham actually, they may go in and beat Wolves here. And Tottenham start out this season 2-0.
Yeah. You pick a momentum. You got a coach that's decent. You pick momentum.
Yep.
Some of these guys who are thinking about leaving might turn around and say, let's see what we got going on here.
Yeah, man. So, and I think before the transfer window is done.
And I'm not talking about Harry Kane. I think he's good as gone. But I'm talking about your sons and stuff like that were rumored to want to leave and move on because Kane was leaving and they didn't know the direction of the club. You start winning, you picking up momentum. You got a coach who has a strategy. You have a coach who's done some things with Wolves, and things start clicking.
And rumor is that Watford player Sarr is on his way over to Tottenham. So winger striker there for them to pick up. He won't be in the match day for Sunday, but. Good player heading to Tottenham potentially. Last game on the agenda for Sunday is Arsenal versus Chelsea. As we talked about, Pulisic is out of that game with COVID. Lukaku is in the squad and ready to go. I guarantee it. Arsenal very well could start out 0-2. Martin Odegaard, I believe, may not make the squad on this due to paperwork and not being registered.
And I mean, how long has he been really training with the team too? So
yeah, but there's all the paperwork that has to be done. He may not have gotten registered yet, so we'll see on that. I think we're both resigned to the fact that Chelsea are going to take this one, no matter who they put out. I mean, they're looking really good. Chelsea are strong. So Arsenal 0-2. Sorry about your luck, boys. And I say that knowing that my Aston Villa could be 0-2 as well. But
come on,
it very well could be. You just never know. Last game for match day 2 happens on Monday, and that game is West Ham versus Leicester. West Ham. That's a strange squad to me. West Ham. I mean, they win 4-2. They've made no upgrades this year. Their club refused to spend money for some reason and try to build upon their positioning last year. David Moyes did really well last year to get that club to where it was. Apparently, they just don't feel the need to upgrade and buy new players. So this could be one where that shows that they needed some players to come in and get that squad going. Leicester, it's still a Vardy party. Jamie Vardy, still 34 years old. He is still the speediest player around. I think Leicester win this game, although it'll be a good game. It's at West Ham, so Leicester are playing away. But Iheanacho, Vardy, they got some players. Peter Schmeichel leading from the back. I think Leicester take this one.
I like nachos. I like to party, so I'm going to go with Leicester City.
That's why we invite you on this show, Nate. Oh, I love it. I mentioned players, and you go, I have no idea, but nachos sounds good.
Nachos sound delicious, and you mentioned party. I'm in.
All right. Well, why don't we jump ahead and talk about your favorite league, my friend? Why don't we talk about the Bundesliga?
Time for everyone to wake up!
Yeah, Bundesliga time. We all know Nate loves the Bundesliga, and his favorite team is Stuttgart. You know what? Before we get to that, why don't you tell us a little bit about the jersey you're wearing?
Oh yeah, hey. So this is SGV Mirror.
I'm sorry. Did you? What was that?
Yeah, SGV or SGV Mirror.
SGV Muir.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It was the club actually that was kind enough to let me play for them. I don't even like to say that I played for them. They are kind enough to let me play for them. Played for several years there. It's actually their 100-year. Last year was their 100-year bicentennial or 100-year anniversary. They started in 1920, and obviously 2020 they didn't play a game.
We can all just agree that 2020 was canceled and just moved to 2021.
It's a little bit of delayed, 100th season for them. They just kicked off,
Very
and
nice.
they're going on. And I guess the second team won their first regional match, and Christian Kraus is second leading goal scorer. Guy I played with, nice guy. Second leading goal scorer in Muir out of that regional tournament for the last 100 years, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Why don't you, once we're done, why don't you go ahead and tag them in our video here?
I will, and
big
all
shout
of them
out
will...
to SGV Muir, and good luck this season, guys.
Yeah.
Love that we do different jerseys here on the soccer show.
It's classic too. No, it's just red.
It is. I love
a little
it.
white for red and white like Stuttgart.
Very nice. I'm surprised they found one to fit you.
I was much smaller back then. I
believe it.
Before the growth hormones.
So now on to fun times. The first game of the Bundesliga Match Day 2 happened, and it was RB Leipzig versus Stuttgart.
I blacked out during this one.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, do you want to tell us the
Did
score,
they win?
Nate?
No.
RB Leipzig won
Damn it.
very handedly.
So, okay.
And some great goals in this game. Oh, my word, were there
So,
some great goals.
Let's rewind last week. You said some pundits picked Stuttgart to win, and I went the league or challenged the league, and I went, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I also said Leipzig underperformed. And this is exactly what I meant, because Leipzig is a fantastic squad. It's an underrated squad, mainly because they have a lot of really good players that nobody knows who they are. So, national team players are good, right? On your team?
Absolutely they are.
They
as many as you can get, you'd
They
want.
have 13 players that start or in around their represented country's national team.
That's a lot of players
There
on one
is a
team,
lot
man.
of them.
13. You got 13
Yes.
international players on your squad?
Yes.
Woo,
And,
that's a lot.
And many of them played in the Euros. One is Tyler Adams, as you know. One is Silva, who played for Portugal. And the probably the man of the match, and I really haven't checked it, but Sylvester, who played for Hungary, who actually signed on to that team last year, but due to injury didn't play in the Euros. So he is now the added piece. Silva is the striker that they were missing when Nagelsmann was there. And I haven't even scratched the surface of a Forsberg, who everyone saw what he did for Sweden and how impactful he was. He's running around the field. Just the issue is these guys aren't like your golden stars that you normally think about, which isn't that bad. And they're going to be a force now. And Marsh is technically he's a proven coach. He won the Australian League several times. So he is a proven winning coach in Europe. They got a good coach, even though they lost Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann kind of built this team up. They've been building for this moment here. So let's see. I don't think think Munich wins the league this year.
You don't think Bayern Munich are going to win the Bundesliga this year? Who do you think? RB
I think
Leipzig?
I think it's a three. I don't know who.
Dortmund?
I think it's Dortmund, Leipzig, and Munich are the three horses that are going to be running around there with the Gladbach knocking on the door as well, who is going to be doing very good. I'm going to say I think Munich does not win it this year. Nagelsmann coming in, too many changes, too many players leaving. An aged squad a bit, and the gap between the younger players that like Musiala, who hasn't really, came on. I think Munich they're not going to struggle. They're just not going to come in first. Remember, Leipzig almost beat them last year.
Yep.
They almost beat them last year without this Sylvisa from Hungary, and I'm probably pronouncing that name wrong because it's long with lots of Z's, and without Silva, who was the third highest leading goal scorer last year in the Bundesliga. They have those two guys now, as well as everyone else. They lost McKendall, fine, whatever. They have Oberon, who's a starting back, and they barely missed out winning the league. So I think it's definitely a different game with the players they added, and then Dortmund is now stronger with another year with Haaland under their belt and another year with Jude Bellingham under their belt, who has really come forward.
Yep. I love it. You give me money, I'm putting it on Bayern. It's the safe
Do it.
bet, but you,
I don't play safe, baby. I lose my dollars. Pew pew.
But you put Dortmund in there. We know how they've been getting along. We know how RB Leipzig. I mean, they just beat Stuttgart. 4-0.
They beat them like a drum.
And
at Stuttgart,
you are right. I mean, it's one of three teams. It's absolutely going to be one of those three teams, in my opinion. I'm on board with that.
And Stuttgart still isn't a bad side. They were missing 4 or 5 starters. Still, guys that I would easily consider starters. They're kind of still a little bit injured. They would have helped to make it closer. They probably still would have lost. They don't have the firepower that Leipzig had. And that's where I was conflicted because I wanted Jesse Marsch to win this game. I wanted him to, come out with a victory and not go 2 in the hole in the beginning. But I also didn't want to see my Stuttgart team lose. So I texted you before the game. I'm like, I'm so conflicted,
You guys just see the stream of texts I get before Stuttgart games.
That's why it's silent. His phone is on mute. He throws in the fishbowl so he doesn't have to hear it.
Other games of note for the Bundesliga this weekend: Hertha Berlin versus Wolfsburg, VfL Bochum versus Mainz, Freiburg versus Dortmund, Eintracht Frankfurt versus Augsburg, Fürth versus Arminia, and Leverkusen versus Mönchengladbach. Any of those, I know the Freiburg Dortmund one sticks out to me. I just love watching Dortmund and how they go ahead and go about their games and their tactics they employ. Any of those that stick out to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited. I want to see the Bielefeld Fürth game because I want to see American Julian Green. And I also would like to understand whether or not Fürth is really that bad or is Stuttgart really that good. If they get throttled by Bielefeld, I think they're that bad. Then you got Leverkusen versus Gladbach, which should be interesting with 2 new head coaches, both tied, both looking for a win. And Gladbach has American Scully playing there, so another American for you to turn in. I like Freiburg versus Dortmund as well.
19-year-old, by the way. 19-year-old. I think he's a right back, is he?
Yep.
He's a right back from Mönchengladbach.
Played very well.
I mean, he started against Bayern, and they
drew him.
Drew 1-1.
So here we go.
High praise for the 19-year-old American there in the Bundes. Another American in the Bundesliga.
Played full 90.
Yep.
Freiburg versus Dortmund. You got Reina. You got all the stars there. Another American. Hertha versus Wolfsburg. Brooks. Another American. Hoffenheim versus Berlin actually looks very interesting as well. Hoffenheim won 4-0 against Augsburg, and Berlin was 1-1 against Leverkusen. So, but then Leverkusen went in the Europa Conference League, won 4-0. And then München is, Bayern Munich is looking for their first win under Nagelsmann against Cologne at home. That should probably be a goal-scoring fest for them.
Yep. So, lots of games in the Bundesliga this weekend. Obviously, the Bayern-Kolb game on Sunday is going to be a good one to watch as well. We'll see how everybody reacts with the news about Lewandowski wanting out. I'll just throw it out there. The Serie A is starting up this weekend. Lots of news coming out of the Serie A this past summer with the Italian national team winning the Euros. Players jumping around, some new managers. We're kind of running short on time. We got a few other things to get to at the moment, but I think we'll touch next week on the Serie A and how the games went. Some interesting storylines that we want to follow there. Some interesting rumors about players incoming and outgoing as well. So we'll touch on the Serie A next week. Other news I want to chat about. Just kind of some different things that have popped up over the last week and a half here. Pulisic signs with Puma. So Christian Pulisic, the American, has dropped Nike. So he's no longer a Nike athlete. He is now a Puma athlete. I know there was a cool picture of the Chelsea ground. There we go. Look at that. So you've got the Puma logo, and it's half written over, and it's got Pulisic. So Chelsea and Puma are kind of using Christian Pulisic to do some marketing. I love it. He has signed with Puma for several reasons. Money, obviously, but one of them. But the partnerships that he has with Puma is to establish camps and clinics and rehabilitate playing fields and donate products for underserved youth in the U.S. So Puma and Christian Pulisic kind of putting their powers together to do good. The deal sees the 22-year-old end his partnership with the U.S. Nike brand. I like it. I like that. I think that's a great thing. I really hope that we see a lot of fields rehabilitated. Soccer's come a long way. It's getting better, but we do need money into the game from these companies like Nike and Puma and Adidas to get the fields, to get the correct equipment on some of these kids who don't have the money to purchase it. So I give Christian Pulisic some plaudits and say congratulations, buddy. That's good. I love it. Rumor this week that several teams have been sniffing around and making bids for one Weston McKennie at Juventus.
So apparently, because Juventus has a lot of cash issues, I believe, if it serves me right, and because of his age and not high wages and reasonable transfer fee, that's why they're sniffing around. But apparently he's well liked there, so it's not for a matter of, is my understanding, it's not for a matter of that they don't want to use him or don't need him or don't like him. It's more of a matter of we could help our financial issue by selling them. So it's a little bit unique and different opposed to other transfers.
Yep, this is just one where they really like him. They're happy with him, but everybody else in the world would like him too. So here come the bids. Rumors today that an English team has put a bid in. We're not really sure who that is.
Aston Villa.
There was some rumors that was it, but I don't see that happening. You just don't see that working. But it would be nice. I would love to see Weston McKennie at the Villa. But
Liverpool.
I don't think I think at this point in his career, he can pick and choose most likely where he wants to go, and he's going to want to go to a Champions League side. So good for him. It's nice to be wanted, right? So good for Weston McKennie.
And he's won trophies with Juventus, which is, quite impressive. Coming from Schalke, I was kind of wondering whether he was really gonna do well there because it was a bit of a jump. But he's performed very well.
Yeah.
So
good for him. Next little bit of news. Puma came out this week with their third kits. So teams have their home strip, their away strip, and then they come out with a third one.
I thought these were just fan shirts.
No, these are actually third kits. Take a look at that. Oh, my word. So
I like the Uber Eats team.
The Uber Eats team.
I can't wait to see Uber Eats versus Avis.
So there are teams, actually, Fenerbahce played yesterday. They play in the Turkish league.
I don't see a Fenerbahce. You mean Avis?
Yes, Avis. They're sponsored by Avis. They were playing yesterday, and one of their players scored a goal. And as he was running up to the fans, he went to kiss the badge, as you see players do, right? They kiss the badge. And he went and did this. He went, there's no badge. And he went, oh, man. This is terrible. This is a T-shirt. This is not a third kit. This is absolutely terrible.
Even bigger than that. And I'm making jokes, but let's be serious. Why is the name of the club smaller text-wise than the sponsor? And that's my biggest issue.
You got me.
Not only did you leave off the crest of the team, but then you made the club name smaller than your sponsorship names. And that's kind of ridiculous. That's like...
I got nothing for you, man. It's absolutely crap.
Yeah, it's awful.
Puma, go ahead and do a great thing and sign Pulisic up and start to rehabilitate fields and give money to underserved kids for soccer, and then they go and do something stupid.
And so
like
now
that.
we hate you, Puma.
Yeah, that just ruined it. Onwards.
You're off our sponsor list. No, just kidding.
UEFA Men's Player of the League for 2021 just came out. Player of the Year. The UEFA Men's Player of the Year list just came out. The three who are looking like they're going to win the Ballon d'Or is N'Golo Kante of Chelsea, Jorginho of Chelsea, and Kevin De Bruyne of Man City. All had great years, very good years. You might be wondering where other players have fallen on this list. Lionel Messi was fourth. Lewandowski with 41 goals in the Bundesliga, setting that all-time record. Fifth, and Ronaldo at Juventus in the Serie A down at ninth. I don't know. I don't think we really need to talk about this much. Any three of those players, Conte, Jorginho, De Bruyne, should win this. They're all very good players. They had great years.
I think it's got to be Jorginho, though, because of the fact that there's only 10 players who ever won a Champions League and a Euro in the same year. That's something, man.
I would say yes, but... My vote goes for N'Golo Kante. I think he's just such a good player that I think he just holds the team together. And we could debate this all day long, right? But
I'm into history. That's why I think Lewandowski should win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, it'd be great to see.
How many times does a player beat a record for their
a 50-year-old record?
50-year-old in a prominent league like that.
Right. Last on our list here of interesting news, edible coffee cups. So if you happen to be visiting the Etihad Stadium in Manchester, that's where Manchester City plays, they've got a whole new menu of food items that you can purchase, and one of them is coffee that comes in a cup that you can eat. I'd recommend you drink the coffee first, finish it, then eat the cup, but the cup can be eaten. If you do not feel like eating the cup, you can dispose of it in a specific place.
I thought this was weird at first, but then I thought something. If it's made like of a rice cake that has zero flavor, and that coffee just seeps right into the rice cake, and basically you have like coffee flavored rice cake, I am in. Sign me up, because I will definitely eat my cup. And you get angry enough, you bite a cup anyway, so maybe they're just hedging their bets.
I would definitely try it. And just so all fans and viewers who are watching at the moment, you cannot drink alcohol inside of the stadium while watching a game in England. You can drink alcohol in the concourse, back under the stands, right, in the concourse. But once you enter into the stadium to watch the game, you cannot have alcohol. But you can certainly have coffee and tea. So if I ever make it over there, I'll be sure to let you know that I'm going to have a edible coffee cup.
I want to see a picture of you eating your coffee cup.
Yeah,
whether it's edible or not. Just go for it.
All right, we got to quickly rush through another few segments here. We're going to go through our youth soccer segment, brought to you by the Michigan Jaguars. Michigan Jaguars are fun, family-friendly environment, a club for players at every age and every level, experienced and dedicated coaching staff. You know some of the coaches over there, don't you, Nate?
I've heard one or two.
Yeah. MichiganJaguarsFC.com is where you can find more info on the Michigan Jaguars. Sawyer, if you could do me a favor, could we go ahead and play the, I want to show everybody the next level training clip that we have here, and we're going to let you guys kind of watch this and listen to it. You gotta love watching Aaron Bird and do that training session, man. I've been out to some of his training sessions that he's coached or training the pros, and he does that same stuff, man. And the pros are just hanging on every word he says. Aaron Bird, next level training, some of the best coaches, the best training out there. If you guys are in the Metro Detroit area and you're looking to get better, you want your kids to get better, they run training sessions on a daily and weekly basis. So go ahead and visit Aaron and Next Level Training at next-leveltraining.com. Aaron is a great dude, knows soccer, loves to break down soccer, and man, can't talk about him enough. Such a good dude. This past week, I had a chance to catch up with a good friend of mine, the Michigan State University men's head soccer coach, Damon Rensing. We talked about the upcoming season, the preseason, some of the things the guys on the team have been doing over the summer. Why don't we go ahead and play a 2-minute clip of that, and then we'll come back right afterwards. All right, welcome back to We Are Soccer. Today I have a very good friend of mine, the Michigan State University men's head soccer coach, Damon Rensing. Damon, thanks for joining and welcome to We Are Soccer, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Been dying to get on.
Love it, man. It's your schedule and my schedule haven't lined up here for a few weeks, so it's good to finally get on here and chat. So, man, this summer, it's been a little bit of a unique summer, obviously, coming back from last season with the COVID season, we'll call it. How's the summer been? Have the boys come back in good shape, injury-free for you?
Yeah, for the most part, everything's been great. I don't recommend playing pickup basketball 3 days before the start of preseason. So we had one little ankle sprain, but other than that, if that's the worst injury we have all year, we're going to be all right. But it's been good. We had, it's been interesting with finishing a real season in, mid to late April and then turning around in August. So we really had to monitor the kids in the summer. They really like playing. So like you can only have five per summer team. But we had five guys, I think, playing with DCFC's 23s.
Mm-hmm.
There were some Lansing Common players, a couple guys on the Grand Rapids team and Oakland County FC. So we just had to really monitor them. I only kind of let them play 90 minutes a week as opposed to multiple games, and then kind of shut down on July 4th. Guys came up on their own July 15th and have been working out with our strength and conditioning and playing pickup basically till preseason. So we've been really happy with the fitness level that the guys are at, and we're in a good spot and excited to hit the ground running.
Wow, that's unique, man. That's a lot different from when you and I were playing years ago. We used to play as much soccer as we could in the summer, and all right, so as you can see, Damon Rensing, head soccer coach over there at Michigan State University. He's such a good dude. Such a family culture they have going. I love it. I'm a former alumni. Damon was the assistant coach when I was there. Great dude, great coach. Go watch the longer version of that video. We get into some depth about what they do with players, how the players come back, what they do specifically with technology and breaking games down. Really interesting segment there with Damon Rensing from Michigan State University. All right, local pro soccer segment brought to you by Detroit City FC. Supporter owned. Detroit City FC is one of the best clubs in the state of Michigan. Fun, friendly environment for all the games that they have. If you guys haven't been to one of the Detroit games, you got to get out. There's a whole section for the supporters. There's a whole section of family side. It's such a good, fun environment. The game is tonight, Saturday, and they are playing. Who are they playing? I'm sorry. They're playing San Diego 1904 tonight. It's gonna be awesome. Plus, it's $2 beer night.
Ooh, baby!
$2 beers. Yeah. So get out there, guys. Have some fun. Take the kids. $2 beers is not for the kids, just so we're all aware.
Or don't take the kids for the $2 beers, depending on how many beers you have. Last
week, Detroit City FC were playing in California. They flew all the way to California, and they played California United Strikers FC. The game ended 1-1. Sawyer, can you play the clip of the DCFC goal? You guys got to see this. This has got to be goal of the year. Watch this. Bicycle.
Take that for having too long of a name, California, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly. And learn how to defend the bicycle kick. Here we go again. I must have watched this a million times. Off his chest.
Is that Nate Steinwasser biking it in?
No, Nate Steinwasser is the goalie.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
He could come out and bike it.
What a goal. It's got to be goal of the year. I mean, flick of a header, takes it off his chest, bicycle loops over the goalie. Brilliant goal. I've seen a few goals like that from Detroit City FC in the last year or two. Get out to Detroit City FC at Keyworth Stadium, guys. You can buy tickets at debtcityfc.com, or they do have tickets available at the gate, but I'd recommend buying them online. You'll save a little money. And
you never know; it could be sold out too. And I'm not saying that to be, you could show up and there could not be tickets for you because of. Yep. There's a lot of people that go to these games.
I do want to give a big shout out to John Champion and Neil Rule, the announcers and the commentators for Detroit City. They do such a good job. And if you haven't listened to them, trust me, watch a game, watch the stream. You'll listen to the stream that they do. They're really knowledgeable, good dudes. It becomes very apparent how good they are when you go ahead and watch other teams' live stream. So the game last week, California United Strikers FC.
It's a mouthful.
Their commentators were, and I apologize, guys, I don't know you personally, but they were terrible.
Well, hold on.
I mean, it wasn't even close.
Hold on. You have to say California United Strikers FC multiple times.
Yes.
It's a tongue twister that no one can deal with.
But every time the ball moved, the English fella, who I don't know his name, the commentator, his go-to phrase is, okay, here we go. And on Twitter, the Detroit City FC fans had made a drinking game that every time he
good
said,
God.
okay, here we go, they were going to take a shot or do something. I'm pretty sure they were drunk after 10 minutes.
Is everyone okay?
No, I think they're still waking
no.
up 7 days later from that hangover because, okay, here we go.
His mouth was tired.
Someone
How
was,
many? He was tired. That's all he could think of after saying California. I gotta read it. California United Strikers FC.
Yes.
Someone
was counting how many times he said it, and before the first half, I think it was around the 41st minute mark, they'd counted 48 times.
That's a lot.
That's not good. That's not good. And I am not a good announcer and talker, but
I mean, come up with a different.
I think
do something like whammy or something. I don't know.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap us up for this week of We Are Soccer. So much soccer, just we can't get to it all. Go ahead and follow along with some of the videos we have. Monday morning, a new Bundesliga chat time with one Nate is going to drop. So be sure to keep your eyes on that. We're going to have it on YouTube. We'll put it on Facebook and our Twitter account. So We Are Soccer Bundesliga chat time
on MySpace.
And coming up, brand new, dropping Tuesday mornings, we're going to do an MLS roundup with Brooks Lambier.
He's tall.
He's tall.
Yeah, dashing.
And he's very knowledgeable. He's a scout.
He's got a hair. His hair.
He's got nice hair.
He's got nice hair.
So that MLS Roundup, new to We Are Soccer, is going to drop Tuesday mornings. That'll be on all our socials. Again, thank you to Woodward Sports for all they do. Thank you for the lovely studio. If you guys have heard loud cars during this broadcast, is because we are sitting very close to Woodward Avenue, and the Woodward Dream Cruise is
I think I just saw
on.
a tank drive by, and I'm not even joking.
I missed the tank.
Yeah, I got the
Go ahead and give Woodward Sports some love on all their social channels. You can find them. They're awesome. They do a lot of Detroit sports and very good dudes. Thank you again to our sponsors, Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars, Tim Merritt with Ross Mortgage, and Next Level Training with Aaron Bird. All great people and great companies. I give you my word on that. Do me a favor, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow all of the We Are Soccer social channels as well. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, we're on it. All right? And I think that's going to wrap us up, guys. And until next week, cheers.